going down memory lane with the Portland SkyKnights. We're out at Delta Park, North Portland. This must be the late 50s, 57, 58. And we're flying mostly single channel aircraft. This is my Berkeley Piper Cub. My neighbor, Chuck Hines, he's going to help me fly. I've got a Forster 31 engine in here, a Lorenz twin tube receiver. I have rudder only and no motor control, just rudder only, no elevator or anything. And it's a 71-inch wingspan Piper Cub. You can see I'm already into scale. Remember now, these are 8mm movies, so don't expect a lot. It does get better though as we get better at the 8mm movie. So don't expect a lot. It does get better though as we get better at the 8mm movie taking. I even had hair in those days. The twin tube Lorenz receiver required about 65 volts on board the aircraft, plus 1.5 volts for the filaments. Had a gas tube in the first stage and a hard tube in the second stage. I had a standalone transmitter, Mach 2 transmitter. One bleep was right, 2 blips was left, and that was it. You get a good hand launch, and it was going pretty good. We did make some takeoffs with it. There was a good launch. The airplane tended to go to the left while it was flying, so I just let it go to the left, and when I wanted to just give it right, go to the right, then let it go to the left, I just let it fly by itself. So it was pretty simple, but leaves a lot to be desired nowadays. This Berkeley Cub had plug-in wing panels. It had no ailerons. My very first RC ship. The wing came off one day and smashed the fuselage back to the cockpit, but I finally rebuilt it. We were flying on 27.25 megacycles in those days, and if you wanted to fly, you had to line up, get in line, because there was only one frequency. And a few years later, we ended up with about 7 frequencies, still on the 27 megacycle band. But up until that time, it was one at a time we flew. That building there was about the only one left after the Vanport flood of 1948. That was the administration building. I think Darrell Usher was taking these shots for me. Little Kodak 8mm. No zoom on this camera, that's for sure. That's Darrell Usher there in his younger years. That's Lentz Park across the street from my house on Southeast Steel Street. We're doing exposure shots here. I built a second one of these Berkeley Cubs and put it on floats, and I still fly it today. But it's never been on wheels. It was always on floats. This one, of course, is far gone. This was before the SkyKnights club organized. The SkyKnights didn't start until 1962, and this had to be in the late 50s. But Delta Park was a pretty nice place to fly. That's about everybody flew was Delta Park. Of course, we were the first ones to get kicked out when they put the soccer fields in. There, we can do that. Rudder only. Now, I won't be able to remember all the guys' names in this video, but I'll try. Of course, we can't call it video. This is movies. Long before videos ever came out. Consumer videos anyway. It looked like an Esquire there. I think I had Bob Smurthwaite put a sliding door on my exhaust on this Forester, and I had if I could restrict the exhaust, it would idle back a bit, and then open the exhaust, it would be full. So I think I might have had a quick blip on the motor, but it wasn't really that effective. That's another Esquire, looks like. They were popular. One day the wing came off, one wing came off, and it came straight down. That's my old 41 Ford. Even the empennage came off of that airplane. It held on with rubber bands or something, I forgot. Now this is down my basement, and that's a Comet 54-inch Taylorcraft. And I started out to build it rubber power, but I put a KMB 020 engine in it and flew it with single channel. This is the rebuild after that airplane hit the ground after the wing came off, and I just sat it on those floats. Now we're at the north end of Aurora Airport. This is Don Anderson's huge Taylorcraft, and he's going to put it in the ground here shortly on takeoff. We had permission to fly at Aurora Airport back in the 50s. And we had practically the whole north end of the strip to ourselves. He takes off and does a couple of dips and straight in. Too touchy on the elevator, I guess. This was a big airplane in its time. These were all test flights here. And of course, we were flying, in those days, we were flying reeds instead of single channel. These were reed radios. Oh, there it goes. Ooh, that hurt. That was the name of the game. We got to fly at Aurora Airport for about a year, and that was it. There's my first multi-ship. That's an Olsen 60 in the front side port, in a but a Berkeley Astrohawk, one of the first ones out. Well, not one of the first ones, but that's what I learned to fly reeds on, was a Berkeley Astrohawk. And believe me, I took off and crashed lots. But that Olsen 60 was just enough power. This is probably maybe in the early 60s now. I had a F&M 8-channel proportional. That was Don Anderson in the chair there. Let's see who else we got here, if I can remember. Okay. Looks like maybe this is Taurus, it looks like. Now it looks like we're out at Oregon.